finished the shift knob yesterday. Now I want to get these headlights on and the front directionals and whatnot and the grill. But before I can do that, I gotta wet sand and buff because I'm not gonna be able to do that once the lights are on. And then these side markers are in and the front lower ones are in and this one. So I started wet sanding tonight. Going pretty good. The wings are okay. I'm happy with that. The hood, I'm having like a little bit of issues with it. I still got some more wet sanding to do. I'm not gonna wet sand this because it's such like a sharp point. I'm afraid I'm gonna eat right through that. So I'm gonna leave that and I'll just buff it the way it's in. But I have a couple of these dimples I thought I was gonna be able to wet sand out. Those are those mosquitoes that dove bomb in my clear coat. And these are actually, they're lower than the clear coat. So I'll be able to get all the rest of this orange peel out, that's fine. But these little divots, there's a couple of them, I can't get those out. So I won't know what it's gonna look like until I buff and polish. I'll see how it comes out. I might live with it, or I might wait till spring. Maybe I'll just repaint the whole hood. But I can live with it for now. Cause it's gonna be a car that I drive, and on the highway I'm gonna get stone chips and whatnot. But it would have been nice to have the bonnet, like the cleanest looking thing. That's the first thing you look when you look at the car. So, but it's a small panel. Maybe I'll go back and redo it some other time. There's a couple more little ones right there, right here. A little bit of clear coat thickness right there. I'm gonna wet sand it again. So I gotta do another pass with 1200 over here and 1200 over here in some spots. And then I'll finish it off with 2000. I did these already with 2000. I might hit it again just to give like another quick pass. And then I should be able to go ahead and buff and polish and see what I get. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this cold or not. Today's actually really mild, it's 50 degrees. But the rest of the week is gonna be in the 30s. So I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this or not, but I need to get these lights on, so I have to do it. So I'm just going for it. So upon reassembly, I realized once I had the front end on, these splash guards are awesome and all, but water would still come up here and over into the engine bay because there's still like a gap from here over where all this would show. And anything's better than what I had before, but I still didn't want the water up there, especially in the back of the headlights and stuff. So I went ahead and I made these. I made these super quick. They're not the bestest looking things, but they bolt up right where the splash guards bolt up, so they're gonna just add to it. I wanted to make them out of aluminum. I didn't have any, and aluminum at the store is like crazy right now in prices. So I had this old galvanized sheet metal shit, and I didn't want to use it. I didn't want to film using it. I think it's gross as shit. But I think this was gonna help out a ton. And I used silver paint on the top, just out of a can with some clear coat. And then underneath I did a wicked thick layer of Pour 15, just so dirt and debris, rocks, whatever, when they hit it, it's wicked durable, you know what I mean? So I'll slap these on, and then we'll get the front end back on. I mean, they look kind of funny, but you don't see them once they're under the front end. So I had the front end on about fucking 10 times, trying to get these to line up pretty good. And I think they're gonna help out quite a bit. So I'll go ahead and get this bolted on. And you can see this, it looks like a backwards mud flap. So if I wanna go reverse and do reverse donuts or reverse burnouts, I guess I wouldn't fling up rocks maybe. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I'm gonna time lapse this, put them on. And then I'll hopefully get the front end on for good today. I started doing the lights. I did like the side marker, the front. I have a rubber seal I still have to do. Actually, it's not the rubber seal. It's the these little rings. I gotta put these on still. But it's a little cold in here. I have to heat the rubber up just so I don't crack it. What else did I do? I redid the headlights. I taped them up all nice. I added in a plug or two, just with Tesa tape. couple plugs. But mainly those splash guards, I just didn't want water splashing up behind the headlights and all over the wiring and whatnot. So I went and did that. It took about 3 days to make. Pain in the ass. They don't fit like perfect, but it's gonna help out a lot, I think. So I'll get these bolted on and then we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so I got them all bolted up, and these are pretty cool. I'm very psyched about the wiring on the driver's side here, the main loom, because now it's never going to get wet, because it's going to sit right on top of this, fully welded right there, nice and good. The only spot it could get wet, and most likely will get wet, is when the front end's attached over here. There's always that little gap right here, so when it does rain, if I'm caught in the rain, it's going to drip down there and fall down. So some of this might get a little wet, but it's a lot better than what it is. And I was gonna use some of this stuff. It's like a U-shaped trim work stuff. I was gonna throw it in the back of here just to seal this up against the firewall. But then if it does rain in here, I want it to leak out. So I do want it to drip down. So the only place I'm gonna be using this stuff is probably just along the edge here, just so it can butt up with the fender wall. It's not like a perfect fit, but it's enough. And if this is too thin, I have my old window gasket that I can use too, just to try and help butt it up against the new fender wall. Other than that, I just gotta zip tie my cable right here. I got my holes already. That'll hold that nice and snug. And they're in pretty good shape. And then I'll try and fit the front. It's over there. I'll fit the front and then I'll show what it looks like with it on. All right, I got my zip tie on. Nice and good, nice and snug. Put my black trim on. Oh, and it looks great. I put a little bit of metal tape down here for reinsurance, just because I think it's cold out and this stuff isn't malleable, so I think it's gonna eventually fall off. It does have a glue inside the corner, so it will like adhere to it. But I'm just gonna put like another piece right here. Just because I don't want it falling off over time. Just something to help it stay on. Other than that, I think that looks pretty good. You know, it's better than what it was before. Every little bit helps. I don't think it's gonna, I mean, water is still gonna splash up between here. I could use this weather strip and wedge it in there, but it's a tight fit. I'm gonna wait till I get the front end back on. Maybe I can squeak something in there. But I mean, when it does rain, I do want it to drain down here and eventually just fall and seep down there. So I don't really want to completely seal it off, but I just want to stop it from splashing up like crazy. So it's gonna splash up a little bit. I'm cool with that, that's fine. Alrighty, I just got the front end back on, and now I can show you under the wings. You can see the black trim right up against the fender wall there. There's like a slight gap in some spots, but it'll be a place for, I guess, water to drain before it does get up there. That's my plug. Everything looks good. Driver side. Nice. I think we're in good shape. I'm gonna get the headlights plugged in and then probably call it for today. Maybe we'll get some lunch. And here's the things people don't tell you when they assemble cars. Sometimes you will get nicks. There's a little nick right there. Whatever. And then right here, scratched up, putting on. It's it's really tough to put the front end on alone without scratching it. But what I'm gonna do is take a little Q-tip, dab in the blue paint, and then just touch it up. And that's it. I'll live with it. That's okay. Same spot right here. There's a little spot right there. That actually gets covered when the bonnet's on, so that's cool. Other than that, paint's looking pretty good. I mean, on these little edges too. I could do the black trim and hide all this if I want. I'm probably gonna do the trim on here. It always looks good on there. And maybe I'll run it down the sides too. But yeah, getting there. I made a little list. Actually, I gotta add to that list. What do we got here? Bunch of stuff over here. Windshield, the wipers, I gotta paint the bumpers, I gotta paint the grill, I gotta put the quarter windows in, I still gotta hook up the horn, paint the door handles maybe. I'll get to it at some point. I gotta extend one of the tie rod ends. So I think when I mentioned the rack is over a little bit, and this driver's side it's on, but I gotta extend it because at full lock, one wheel it'll turn more to the right than it will to the left, or vice versa. I forget. But it's hanging off by, you know, it's just barely on there, so I gotta extend a new one. I already have one half made up from before. Here's a good example. This is what's on there now for my tie rod ends. I just need one like a little longer, and I had this one already made up, somewhat made up. There's a little surface rust, but that'll clean off. I just gotta cut and remeasure it. Maybe about somewhere right here. I won't know until I get it apart. And then I'll have to paint it and whatever. But right now the threads are, you know, they're only in about a 3/8, maybe a ½ inch in, and I want more thread inside for my tie rod ends. I don't want that going pulling out. But if I leave it the way it is, I could turn my wheel all the way to the right and have a sharp right turn, but when I turn all the way to the left, it's not a very tight left. So basically what I'm saying is the rack is not centered to the wheels. I don't really know how to explain it, but you might get an idea. Once I put it on, it should be good. What else are we doing over here? I gotta finish the dash, and I gotta do the fender flares. And I'm sure there'll be more of that add on there, but that's kind of where I'm at now. Everything's checking out. Both headlights are working. The directionals are working too. And then I still have to put the surrounds back on over the headlights. But I think I'm just gonna like hit them with some paint real quick. Get some scratches here and there. A little dusty. So I'll probably paint these when I paint the bumpers and the grill. That way I can just clear coat them and whatnot all at once. And that should complete the front end. Alright, I just saw some primer on some of the front end pieces, the grill, the lip, the side surrounds, and the headlight rings. So I just got them in primer, just some automotive primer if I can. I'm gonna hit them with the black, and I'm gonna use my my good clear coat to make it all shiny. Hopefully it doesn't spider crack. I'm gonna try and keep it warm with the heater over there. I'll do my best. We'll see what we got. Cause I'd like to get this stuff back on maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. So if I can get these painted today, that'll be cool. And I can knock that off the list.